Today's video, we're going to focus on what it takes to forgive someone. Why is it so hard to forgive someone? So let's begin. Let's understand why it is so hard to forgive somebody, and we go into a tit-for-tat mentality where we think to ourselves, hey, you caused me this much hurt, I'm going to cause you that much hurt too. And these are the reasons why this happens. First, when we get hurt, it is because our emotional trust was broken. It's as if we cannot even comprehend in our minds that somebody we loved was capable of causing us hurt. Now, if you have been hurt, the next logical thing to happen is that hatred is built inside you. But here's something that not a lot of people know. The hatred starts with yourself. You start to hate yourself where you were vulnerable enough for the other person to take advantage of you. What do you do in return? Because you don't want to hate yourself, you direct all of that energy towards hating the person that caused you the most hurt and the most harm in life. This is followed by a hesitation to trust. Now let's say that you let this one incident slip and slide. There's always going to be a nagging feeling that something happened and this person caused you hurt. So what have they done to you in the past that has caused you the same amount of hurt? So you stop trusting the person even more. And what does that lead to finally? It leads to resentment. You start to resent the person even more, which builds more hatred. And what does that all culminate into? Anger. You start to build anger within yourself. And where does that anger lead you? It either leads you to shut yourself down, or you get the anger which is so explosive in nature that you will hurt anyone that even looks remotely similar or has done something similar to you, like the person who caused you hurt. So this does beg the question, how do you forgive somebody who has caused you so much hurt? Well, if you are even contemplating getting to the point of forgiving somebody, then here are some of the things that I will suggest that you start doing in order to truly forgive and lead a peaceful life. Acknowledge. That is step one. Acknowledge the fact that you were hurt. Instead of burying it deep down, say it out loudly. Who hurt you? What did they do? How long ago was it that they did something to you? And how did it make you feel? Step two, take account of what has happened to you. Now, it's important to understand that the incident that occurred, which caused you hurt, has changed you in many ways than one. Who were you before the incident, and who are you now after the incident happened? Because we all harbor negative feelings within us. So it's important to consider and take account of the changes that have happened within you. Step three in the journey of forgiveness is the most critical, because it is at this junction you're going to decide if you're ready to forgive or not. And this stage is called acceptance. Acceptance of what happened to you, and acceptance that you cannot go back into the past and change what has happened to you. It is at this point you consider if keeping the anger inside you is worth it or not. It all boils down to this critical step where you have to ask yourself, can I move beyond this pain by accepting what has happened to me? Determine if you are truly ready to forgive the person who wronged you, because this is important. If you're not ready and you tell yourself that, yeah, I am fine, I can get over it, and you're actually not, but you're doing it for some outside reasons, then this whole process is not going to work. And I'll tell you why. Because if you are truly forgiving somebody, then at that same time, when you look at that somebody, you shouldn't feel resentment. And if you continue to feel resentment and anger, then this process has failed even before it began. Next is repair. Repair the relationship with yourself, which means you should be able to tell yourself that yes, I was wronged in the past, but now I have more power and control over what I feel, and I am more aware of how people are treating me. If you are building the relationship again, you are probably going to be the one that starts that repairing process. But be mindful, you have to be clear in your mind that you are rebuilding the relationship where the trust was broken. So it's going to take time to repair that relationship. So give it time. Do not expect yourself to suddenly go back to the same way that relationship was before. It's going to take time, and you have to give it time to repair. And at the same time, the person that had wronged you is going to see changes that you've made in the way that you're dealing with them. And they might call you out on it, which is absolutely fine. That is when you stand up for yourself and you tell them, with what I'm doing, I think I'm fine with what I'm doing. Next, learn. Learn what forgiveness means to you. What does it look like? What are the changes you're looking for in the person to make sure that they do not repeat the same mistake again or cause the same hurt again? And this is a learning process, because when you're repairing the relationship, you are learning what you endured, what those feelings were, how they impacted you, and all of those steps are culminating in this learning process. Finally, after you've done all of these steps, you might be ready to forgive. And this could be a silent forgiveness as well, which means you might just look at the person and say, yeah, I forgive you. Or it could be a verbal forgiveness saying, I know what you did, I am aware of what you did, but I have still taken it in my heart to forgive you for what you've done. Now, sometimes the response might not be what you're looking for, but that shouldn't matter at this point. Because if you followed all of the other steps, you have actually learned to let go of the past. And let me repeat this again. You have let go of what caused you hurt. And once you choose to forgive is when you're going to find the most peace within. Don't hold on to those grudges because it's not worth it. Now, if you found benefit from this video, then do give me a thumbs up and a like, and I look forward to seeing you here next week, where we will build resiliency one video at a time.